Hello, it's kind of weird to see a Minecraft video on the channel again, isn't it? I want to give you all a quick disclaimer, and you probably noticed this already with me scrolling. OBS has decided that it does not want to work correctly. The recording is going to be very choppy, and I've tried everything I can possibly think of to fix it, and nothing has worked. So I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. OBS is not feeling good today, so the video is going to be not as good as it should be. So we're just going to create a world. Now, I would like to point something out here. As you know, there are 3 other people working on this add-on. If you didn't know that, you know now. But yeah. So what I'm working on is very, very far from everything. But the first thing, obviously, is this. You start, just like in Terraria, you start with the copper short sword, axe, and pickaxe. And now, if I give myself crimson grass, and I set the tick speed to 1000, you know, I'm just gonna do 1, so I can place it down, because, you know, when you set the tick speed really high, the game starts to lag a bit. Alright. Oh, okay. Maybe it didn't. But as you can see, here, let me just stop. I'll just get, you know, like, just some oak tree. And we're just gonna place a few trees down. And then we are going to set the tick speed to 1000 again. Okay, that happened quickly. So, obviously the leaves decay because there's not as many, you know, there's no actual logs to support them, because these technically aren't actually logs, you know? So, the trees, if they get corrupted or crimsonified or hollowed, then they're gonna look a little dead in some places, like, as in, you know, they're not going to have all of the leaves that they did before they were taken over. Which I guess in its own way is kind of intimidating, so unintended feature, maybe, I don't know. But as you can see, yeah, it spreads, and we have crimson and hollow blocks as well, and there's a little spoiler for later on in the video. We do have Plantera, although she is not finished at all. Mr. Devil has been working on that UI bar up there, and there's that beta cursor. I don't know why it's there, but we're probably going to get rid of it. And the thing that started the whole add-on is Mr. Devil's Zenith. He has changed this, so that the actual swords are there instead of just the Zenith, and the particle has changed that, you know? Plantera does have a second phase as well, also not finished. Mr. Devil, I think, has worked on this a bit more in his version of the add-on, but on my add-on, all I got was the entity itself, because this is not my thing to work on. So I got a very work-in-progress, unfinished version. There's the shadow key. This is going to get removed. Ignore that. So the shadow key, as you would probably expect, it's here for a specific reason. So if we give ourselves a locked shadow chest, so this model was by Lexart, or the texturing was by Lexart. He makes, like, the furniture-related textures and stuff. Here are some other models that he has worked on. They're very good. I did ask him if I could show you guys this, so don't worry. It's, no spoilers or anything. So, these have custom rotation, I would just like to point out. Nothing amazing, but it's there. It exists. Now, the shadow key. So if you click on this normally, you can probably hear it. Nothing happens, but if you click on it with the shadow key, it spawns with the loot, it becomes a normal shadow chest, and it works like an actual chest. Now, of course, the loot table here is, and yes, it is a loot table. See, for that time it was different. There was no platinum. All right, I want to get one with a meteorite. Yeah, there we go. So currently, these are the only 3 things you can get from the loot table. The loot table itself is very randomized, like, it rolls multiple times, or like, the amount of times it rolls is randomized itself. The amount of stuff you get, obviously, is randomized. The type of bars you get are randomized. Very, very random loot table, but it is not final, because obviously shadow chests have, like, the Flame Lash, the Dark Lance, a bunch of weapons that we currently have not created, so there will be more development to this. Of course, if you break them, if you break the chests, they drop the stuff inside of them. All cool. And I'm not going to show you this because I don't want this video to be too long, and I do want to move on, but hoppers do work on these chests, which I personally think is awesome. Custom chests, you'll be able to use these custom chests on your farms, and if you guys play Terraria, you know how cool some of these chests will start to look, so that is going to be amazing. You can, here, let me just show you. You can pick up these shadow chests, so, no, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, there we go. So it mines pretty slowly normally, but if you have a copper pickaxe, it mines pretty quickly, and there's the shadow chest. Now there's these things, and I'm just gonna, you know, we're just gonna, it is a bit big. I will resize it later, but for now, just watch this. Pretty cool, right? We have working life crystals, and soon we will also have life fruits. And they will give you yellow hearts. I plan to do that using the absorption effect, so that you have yellow hearts over... It's not going to be exactly the same, but it will be pretty cool still. Alright, there is one more thing I guess I can show you. We have copper ore. And obviously I put Terraria add-on because 1.17 is coming up, and there's going to be copper. So, to not confuse this, I don't really know. It doesn't look similar whatsoever, but I'm going to show you something. So if I mine this with my fist, and this is pretty cool, because not a lot of people actually know how to do this. If you mine it with your fist, nothing happens. If you mine it with the wrong tool, nothing happens. But if you mine with the correct tool, you get copper ore and a bit of XP. Boom. And the final thing, the final part of my part of the add-on that I've been working on is something that I can't show you in a flat world. This name kind of spoils it. But we actually, literally in the same day that I created these biomes, I found a seed that had both of them in practically the same place, which is pretty cool. Just know that this specific type of generation was me messing around. It is probably, emphasis on probably, not going to be the final generation, but it is going to be basically what you're going to work with, and you're going to see some other things that I've just, you know, randomly been working on, because this was, for a while, this was the world that I tested the stuff on, and now I have a different world, because now I'm trying to develop a system for the Eater of Worlds. Well, not trying, I've already done it, but yeah. So this is the corruption, And as you can tell, it has custom fog. And this specific world has a biome tracker that I created to basically track, you know, which biomes were which, like specifically what variants were where. And now we're in the plains biome, and I believe somewhere over here we're going to see, yup, you can see it already. So this is the crimson biome, and I mean, I don't think I really have to say much here. It's the crimson. And that's the corruption. So, we do have hollowed blocks, as I said earlier. Yeah, I did this for normal biomes too, which is, yeah. So we do have hollowed blocks, but there is currently no hollowed biome. And the reason why is because anyone who plays Terraria probably realized this, but the hollowed biome does not start out generated in the world. It is not there to begin with. It only generates after you defeat the Wall of Flesh and enter hard mode. Now, we currently do not have a Wall of Flesh, and we currently do not have a hard mode. We have planned a system for how to let the game know when we do reach hard mode, and we also have a system for how to generate a hollowed biome. It is, it's not something I can show you because, as I said, no hard mode, no really good way to show you this, but we do have hollowed blocks, and we do have a conceptual hollowed biome, and it is going to come pretty much the instant hard mode comes to our add-on. And these are obsidian bricks, and these are pretty special. As you can see, they have varying textures. So let me just place down a few of these. Oh god, that was a lag spike. So the hellstone bricks are a little special. Now I'm just going to walk on these, and as you can see, nothing is happening. Now, why is this? This is because if you look to the right side over here, I have a value of 2 for something called burning debuff. This is how I programmed the, you know, like the obsidian shield effect, how you won't get burnt on hellstone and meteorite if you have that, you know, fire immunity thing. Now, let's set that to 0. And as you can see, the fire resistance goes away. And now when I walk on hellstone, it lights on fire. And that will instantly ignite me. Pretty cool stuff. There is this, which also has varying textures. It's not quite as noticeable, but they are different textures. As you can see, there's like a skull here, and there's no skulls on this one. It's more subtle, I would say, and it's harder to tell because these blocks are isotropic, but they are there, and the guy who made these textures is Haram 64. I will show some of his work if that is okay. Here is some of the stuff that he worked on. It's on the screen right now. He's mainly designing the bosses and doing some of the textures for blocks like this, and some of the armor. I believe he is working on meteorite armor right now. He did a great job. I think I don't know this, but I did ask him to make a green and pink dungeon brick variants, because obviously there are green and pink, you know, dungeon blocks. So we're going to get those in the future. I am mainly in charge of generation, so as the dude who is working on the biomes and the structures and stuff like that, I can tell you there are going to be dungeons, like the stuff that you go to beat Skeletron and the Cultist. There are going to be hell buildings. As a matter of fact, I believe there is still one more thing to show you guys. You may know why I came here, and you may have noticed that the sky was a little different. I have turned the Nether into the underworld. This is Ash, and let me fly around for a bit, and we're going to see if the biome check changes at all, because there are 3 different biome variants that I created in this Minecraft underworld. So this is an obsidian building biome, and this is a hellstone building biome. Now there are 3 different biomes that I've made, or technically biomes, quote unquote, I guess you can say. There are the obsidian buildings biome, the hellstone buildings biome, and the no buildings biome. And based on the names of each biome, I think you can tell what each one has. So, in Terraria, the underworld consists of a bunch of different house-like structures. Some of them are made out of obsidian brick, some of them are made out of hellstone brick, and in the outer 2/3 of the world, the underworld, the corresponding parts of the world in the underworld, generate with no buildings at all. So, the way I broke this system down in Terraria is I have replaced the Nether Wastes biome with obsidian buildings, since that is, according to the game, the most commonly generated biome. And the hellstone buildings don't generate quite as much in Terraria, so I made those the Crimson and Warped Forests. And the Soul Sand Valley and the Basalt Deltas, the 2 biomes that, ironically, are supposedly the rarest biome in the game, but after playing KTLD SMP, I'm not so sure about that one. I've replaced those with the no buildings biome. So that is it. That is all that we have made so far. Obviously there are things in development right now that I have not mentioned, but they're too early in development to really be worth mentioning. Sorry, but I will make another one of these update videos when I feel that enough progress has been made to make another one and explain enough stuff again, so until then, see ya. Oh yeah, by the way, fortresses and stuff do spawn, and of course, as you can see, the mobs still spawn. So you will still be able to play the vanilla game. It's just, the Nether's a bit different. Alright, have a good day, guys.